Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm hoping very well. Welcome to the stream in which we're going to have a little bit of a natter about the fact that Leeds United set for a cheeky little match against Sunderland. And we're just going to make the music go away. And it's what I'm quite excited for, because it could go in a lot of directions. And the direction that I think everyone here wants it to go and thinks it will go is a Leeds United victory, because that would be absolutely fantastic. That would make us all very, very happy. But I think it's worth having a little bit of an hour about. It's going to be a fairly quick stream, 15, 20 minutes-ish, because it's been a day. But yeah, it should be quite fun. A little bit of chat interaction as well. I lost a fight with a rabbit earlier. I thought I'd mention that as well, because basically, when a rabbit learns that they're about to lose their clackers, they're not the happiest with you and they get a little bit kicky. So we were having our pre-op for the two bunnies losing their clackers. Took them to the vets, whacked them in the pet carrier, but it turns out one of them doesn't like the pet carrier and kicks quite hard. So that one hurts like a thing that I'm not going to say at the start of a stream because YouTube will demonetize me. But yeah, that's always fun. Matthew Jolly is sat on the coach on the west again. Where are you going from? Because that's quite interesting. Because, like, thinking about it, it makes sense that people, like, coach to and from games that are home games, but I've never, like, actually considered it before. So, like, where are you going from? Where are you going to? And how are we all doing? We all having a good vibe? I hope so. When it comes to the match itself, travelling from Coventry, that's a heck of a trip. When it comes to the match itself, I'm going to whack up a poll and we're going to get some predictions. It's just going to take a moment for me to write. Is it going to be a Leeds win? Is it going to be a draw? Or is it going to be a Sunderland win? I'm feeling confident. I'm going to go Leeds win. And I know that in my preview, I said that it would be like 2-0 or something along those lines. I genuinely think that if we are properly in our flow like we can be, this is going to be a ridiculous game of football. This is going to be one of those games of football where it's just like, we'll blow them out of the water and it'll be great. But this is where there's some complexity, right? Because the last time I wasn't able to watch a match because it was on a Monday night, and Monday night is when I have 7-a-side. That was Burnley. And we dropped points against Burnley, and it wasn't a fun match against Burnley. I can't remember what the Monday before that was. But I don't think that went particularly well either. So that was good. Thanks, the internet. I appreciate that. I don't know where I got to, but basically, Mondays don't tend to be great, and we seem to be up against like fellow top four sides every single time, which makes things far more difficult than they should be, which ain't good. And I agree with like, because I managed to watch the first 25 minutes and the last 25 minutes of that match, and nothing happened. And I was sat in the car with my brother-in-law, who I'm playing against tonight, so that's going to be fun as well. Um, and he was just like, "This is the worst game of football I've ever seen." I was like, "Yeah." And I've watched Burnley about half a dozen times this season, and they just don't get better than this. They are horrific. And that's a big part of the reason that I think that their entire vibe screams not getting promoted. Because you can't just misery ball your way to going up. I think there was one shot on target. There was something like that, yeah. Was it Dan James? And it ended up having to be padded over the bar. And everyone's response to that was, why have we been so bad? And it's like, well, I'm not entirely convinced this is on us. I've got to be honest with you. I feel like this one is a little bit more on Burnley being Burnley and doing their thing. Just got a feeling it's going to be like the Swansea game. I have mildly forgotten what the Swansea game was like. The high-scoring madness one. There is a bit of that feeling, I'll admit. But I think when it turns into the high intensity transitional stuff, I think that's where we tend to come out on top. Like looking through my preview, I listed a bunch of Sunderland's weaknesses. And they do like to play that attacking game, but the fun thing is compare us and them. And when it comes to sides that do the attacking game really well, we are up there. We are one of those teams that will say, okay, you want to go transitional? Fine. Enjoy chasing Dan James back to your own goal line. Enjoy Manor Solomon taking on your fullback one-on-one because your midfielders have just ventured up the pitch. Enjoy your centre-backs being dragged around by Brendan Aronson. And that's one of those situations where I think we will absolutely come out on top. And I think that's the kind of game that Sunderland are going to want to play. Because Ridgely Bree is in one of those weird situations right now where you're a new manager, you're trying to get your personality and your style and your philosophy across to your players. And the thing is, you need to persuade the fans that that's who you are as well. And yeah, the fans like him already. Cool. That helps his cause. But it helps his cause even more if he can commit to it when playing a side that is better at that. And I think that's the situation that he's going to be sort of forced into for this match. And if we're able to force him into that situation, then I think he's going to struggle a little bit because I don't think Sunderland have the players to deal with it. If Burnley go up and finish 20th in the Premier League with 10 goals scored, and if they don't get promoted, you feel like it's a waste of time. Yeah, that's the issue. Because for Burnley fans, I imagine they're looking at it going, fine, at least we're more likely to go up now. But what happens when you don't? What happens when you're desperately pushing for promotion, playing this horrific brand of football that is the worst thing you've ever seen? And you're sort of like, it's okay, we're getting results. Is it going to be that accepted if it gets them third and they scrape through the playoffs and then suddenly Parker Ball comes up against Mo Salah or Erling Haaland or Marmoush or Cole Palmer? Because I think Parker Ball does not stand up to that. This is it, basically. Because they're still not conceding goals and they've been unbeaten for a long, long time. And the fans are still very, very mad at what they're watching. So to me, that sort of screams the fans will turn like that when it comes to be time. And that time is coming. We're not there yet. But the moment things go wrong, it's done. It's problems. Good afternoon, Adam. Hope you're doing all right. Parker Ball lost 9-0 against Liverpool, so yeah. Did it? Let's have a look at Burnley's FB ref page and see if I've forgotten anything. I've probably forgotten anything, I'll be honest. But you can never be sure, can you? This is where it takes ages to load, because I'm also streaming, and that means that the internet tanks. Matches this season, I'll look through losses. Lost 2-0 to Wolves, 1-0 to Sunderland, 1-0 to Millwall, and they've not lost since. Unless it was at a different club. It will have had to have been at a different club, because otherwise that doesn't make sense. Park will buy even better defenders if he gets to the Prem, so maybe they could finish fourth from bottom, but yeah, it's really boring. Yeah, that's the thing. It's one of those styles that people are accepting of if it works. But as soon as it doesn't, everyone goes, why are we here exactly? What's the point? Was when he was at Bournemouth. Right, okay, I get you. That was a different kind of Parker ball, though. Like, this is Parker ball, but like messed up on being in Burnley. So it's very, very defensive stuff now. I imagine a lot of the goodwill that Scott Parker might have right now is also coming off the back of that Plymouth Argyle match, because everyone in the midst of that, even in our own fan base, were like, whoa, you know, they've scored 5 against Plymouth Argyle. Have they all found their shooting boots? And it's like, well, probably not. No, you can't base an entire club's ongoing form and everything on they beat a team 5-0, because we beat Cardiff 5-0. Doesn't mean we beat Coventry, not 7-0. Doesn't mean we beat Coventry 7-0. We should have, but we didn't. And that's the difference between performance and outcome, I think. Yeah, so they scored 5 against Plymouth 7 matches ago, and in the 6 matches since, they've scored 4 times. Which is the sort of weird position that they're in, where when things are clicking hard. But when things aren't really meshing together, they're in trouble. I'm confident Sunderland have to come and play, and I believe that suits us at home. 3-1 may think Melly will have one howler and eyes running from the first leg. I don't think he has a howler. I think he's sort of building in confidence, and I know I try and push this a little bit, but I want to say redemption arc, because I think he's heading in that direction, and I know he's not necessarily going to go there, but sod it. We can dream. Would you take a draw? Yeah, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't mind us drawing with both these and Sheffield United. I would prefer to win them both. I would prefer to beat Hamface. But is a point that bad? A point's pretty solid, and I feel like across the rest of the season, we're going to be better than the other sides anyway. Because if you look at all of our most recent matches, we have absolutely pummeled teams. To the point that, like, even wild sort of statistical messes, like you miss 4 or 5 sitters, doesn't matter. Because we did that against Coventry. We still beat them 2-0. So screw it. I'd take a draw, because I know that for the rest of the season we will look better than the other sides. But I'd rather us not put ourselves in the situation where it's a question to begin with. A draw wouldn't be a disaster, but we'd want to beat the Blunts. Yeah, that's more of a want to, though. It's not a need to. A lot of people are sort of building it as a, we drop points here, we're going to need a result there. I don't think we are. Just win, sort of draw. I'd prefer to win. But I think we're doing the thing again where fans of a football club will always ignore that there's 2 teams on a pitch. And we're a little bit too good at that at Leeds. We're a little bit too good at, well, Leeds, we need to be winning this. And from their point of view, they can go, well, we're Sunderland, and they've not lost in, let's have a look. Results 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Their last 8 matches in the league, they've not lost in. And that run started with a win over Sheffield United. And they've also drawn with Burnley. So it's not one of those teams where it's going to be a pushover. And I think we need to be conscious of that, because we are too good at not being, I'd say. I think we've got the nicest of the late run-ins, but I think in terms of short-term bits of fixtures, this little chunk that we're in is a bit of a nightmare. We should be all right. It's Sunderland, then Sheffield United, then West Brom, I believe. And I genuinely think that we'll come out of that with at least 5 points. But I think that's probably the hardest run of 3 fixtures that any of the sides are going to have, at least for a while. Is it right in the free world for a Leeds fan to think tonight's game could possibly be underwhelming? Should I just not watch? Or what? I mean, watch it if you want. Don't watch it if you don't want. That's your choice. Again, free world. You said it was a free world, so we're going to lean into it. Wrong. Very wrong. Custard creams are the best biscuit. You hear that? Custard creams, best biscuit. She won't have heard that because she's got her headphones in. And if she has heard that, I'm going to be killed in a minute. But we'll find out. Massive opportunity to expand the gap will be a tad frustrating to miss. That's why I don't think we'll miss it. I think there's a world in which you could be passive and defensive on this, or there's a world in which you could actually try and take it to them. And I think the team's confidence in recent matches has put them in the territory of they will try and take it to the other side. We've got to keep in mind, though, if we draw, we do still go top. And drawing is kind of retaining the gap. Like, if any point you're going to drop points, these are the ones that people would expect. So these are the ones that I don't really mind things going wrong. Because at some point, we are going to drop points. We don't win the next 14 matches in a row. It's just which matches that happens in. That's the question. There is this. Cardiff also didn't lose in 8. But also, Cardiff had a significantly worse side than Sunderland, which makes things a little bit tricky. Wins a must because it increases the gap to third place. Burnley to 7 makes Sunderland's effort to finish in the top 3 an even bigger test. There is that, yeah. I think the only part of that feels a bit iffy is having a 7-point gap is, again, not a must. Because, like, 5 ain't bad. You take it. Like, if we draw tonight, I'm not going to be pissed off. Because that means that within a 5-gap run, we will have drawn with 2 of the top 4, which means they've not gained any ground on us at all, and they are the chasing ones. So it's good sides to get the points over. With, in the middle, quick bit of maths, us winning 3 games a combined 13-0. That's what you need to do. If you get points against your rivals and then you just blow everyone else out of the water, you're going to get promoted. So we are heading in that direction right now, which is nice. Keeping this good run is essential until the international break, because it was the international break that scuppered Leeds' promotion hopes last season when a number of players came back injured. This is why I want immediately before the international break Brendan Aronson to go, ooh, ouch, my hamstring. And Mauricio Pochettino gets very, very angry at him. But you know what? It's Brendan Aronson's way of being able to say, yeah, but you got to pick me though. I'm a Premier League player in the US men's national team. So deal with it. This is something I agree with, though. Leeds at Elland Road in this current form is something that we should not be worried about. It's the situation in which we are just going to pump teams. And if we can keep that momentum up, we're going to be all right. I don't think QPR are going to be the problem because, again, QPR is another home match. The home matches we seem to be all right because we just control those. It's longer term stuff in the away matches that's a bit not ideal. This is true as well. Yeah. Last 6 matches, we scored 18. We conceded nothing. Aronson will be needing a lot of USMNT injuries at the moment. He'll be involved. But you could just have a boo-boo. If Brendan's like, oh, the chart's wrong. Oh, no. Oh, crumbs. Oh, I know why I've got it wrong as well, because the club put one of the statement article things up. And I was like, cool, okay. The view's the picture of Elland Road. It'll be a home match. It is not a home match. But thank you for correcting me, amigos. But I'm going to end up the stream in a few minutes because I've got food to sort. Then I've got to get ready for my own football. Ooh, I know. Good fun. Goalkeeping tonight rather than doing outfield stuff. I scored last week. That was good. Hopefully I don't score an own goal this week. Ending the poll with 90% saying a Leeds win, 3% saying Leeds lose, and the other 6 or 7 saying a draw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to our favourite of places, the best spot on the channel. We're going to head over to Questions Corner, where we're going to talk about whatever we fancy for the next 4-ish minutes, which should be fun. Who's a player of it? Furpo. Set you a challenge. There we go. Furpo would be a tricky one. Dream scenarios lead to include Brendan's brother in a sale of Christensen. Do you really think that fans would be super pleased if we signed Paxton Aronson there? Currently playing at Utrecht. I'll have a look at his numbers. It'd be fun. You made a photo of it. Oh yeah, shit. Melier. Yeah, I don't think he's been alright in the Eredivisie. Rutter or Aronson and Somerville or Largy? I'd have Georgie over Aronson, just because Aronson is good and does the pressing, but Georgie just makes me happy in my soul, you know. Somerville or Largy? Probably Largy. Just because I think the influence that Crescencio Somerville had on the way that we played was negative enough to take away the benefits. And I think the team is a lot more balanced with Ramazani in there. Will I watch it? I will watch it. It just depends on if it's on stream and stuff, because I've been doing a little bit less streaming recently because... Hold on. There we go. Because work stuff has been problems. On that, for the people who watch the Football Manager streams, I have been... I played through the summer because I figured people tend to get bored with the transfer stuff. So we've got a hell of a squad now. You are not going to believe the players that we've got. So if you like Football Manager, I'll do a stream on that at some point in the next couple of days. I'm not sure specifically when yet, but we'll find out. When's your next Leeds United vlog? Ooh. Hell of a question that I don't know the answer to. Next time I go to a match, which I think will be towards the end of the season, we'll find out. Teasers with an addition. One of our Tanaka's teammates on the national stage. I'll be too nervous to watch tonight as I was for the Burnley match. I think it's more of a fun watch, this one. Joe on grass, can you do goalkeeping like diving and stuff? Yes. Although mainly I play on 4G stuff. Battle of Midfields. I think Battle of Midfields is fair. Third question, if we go up, do we keep him? I'd quite like it, I guess. But like Football Manager as a vlog, we only get 50% of your attention. But at the same time, I only get 50% of your attention, so it splits a bit. Oh, better than Furuhashi. Significantly better than Furuhashi. And it's not close. I'll stick around until you predict the Tanaka teammate that we've signed. And then I will dip from the stream. A Japanese player. Absolutely a Japanese player, yeah. On this one, I would like to keep him, at the very least as backup. I think signing a better left back is a must-up anyway. But I think keeping Firpo gives us something else against teams that are lower in that division and maybe have like a weaker right-hand side of the back line. So like if Ipswich somehow stay up, imagine chucking on Firpo. Sorry, pun hiccups. I'll just pull them apart. Isn't he a youth team Japanese player? Who? Didn't snag Matoma. No, but similarly exciting. Matoma would be great, but I couldn't do Matoma. Leeds 3, Sunderland 2. That's not a bad show. I quite like that. Itakura. No, not Itakura. I think 3-2 would make sense, but I genuinely think we keep a clean sheet. I'll rephrase. I hope we keep a clean sheet, not Yoshida. You guys are thinking too small. You guys are thinking players that Leeds might actually feasibly sign in the real world. This guy is significantly better. Ito. I think better than Ito. Paveda. Japanese? Let's go Kamada. No, not Kamada. Not Morita. I'll just tell you because I need to end the stream. We signed Takafusa Kubo in the Football Manager streams. So hop over there. He's agreed to play as a central midfielder and as a winger and as an attacking midfielder and as a number 9 if we need it, which is absolutely ridiculous. And breaks the game. We have signed several other people as well, but you'll have to tune into the FM stream to find out. But has Firpo improved defensively, or he just doesn't get exposed at low level because teams don't follow and attack leads in the Championship? I think he has improved. I think having more minutes behind him and more experience in the system is very helpful for pushing him onwards. And I think he's heading in the right direction. Interesting. Thank you very much, Zach. That will be tomorrow or Wednesday. Depends on what I get done in terms of work tomorrow because I've got a hell of a lot of stuff to do. In terms of stuff I have to do, I've got to wait. La Liga scouting paying dividends. Indeed, I know. Working for DAZN and watching La Liga every weekend. Turns out that helps. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, please pop a like on it. It's really appreciated. It helps it get pushed out to even more people, which is always spectacular. Subscribe if you're not yet. That's always fantastic as well. Could even be a channel member if you like. It's 99p for a month. You get a bunch of videos early, which is always wonderful. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. I will see you later. Toodaloo.